Okay, I'm here in front of we're at the Show of Shows in Rockford, Illinois, here with my good friend Chris Moore. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so excited to get to talk to Sal Salas. Sal, how are you?
Great, thank you. Yourself?
Like a legend in the world of marching and design, and so you're clearly working with Spirit. What is your role with the Corps?
Program coordinator, artistic director.
Okay, awesome. And Chris, you're the Corps director.
I am.
And horn arranger?
A horn arranger, yes.
Yeah. So, lots of important things going on right here. So, how is the year going so far?
It's going great. We've had
just got started.
Yeah. We just got started on the 22nd. Sorry. So we had 4 shows and things are going well. Kids are pushing through and making some progress.
Let's talk about the show a little bit. What's the show called and what's it about?
It's called Neon Underground, and it's about the club life
Interesting.
underneath the city of Atlanta. So what we do is we take you through various scenarios. Like at the beginning, the opening segment, it goes from dark to light to neon. So there's a progression with regards to color. So everything starts to get brighter as the show goes on. And each of those moments, each of the productions has a whole different sense of what it's about. Like the opening is, people come to a club at night and they're from everyday life. So once everybody gets into the underground, into the club, they all start to kind of let their hair down. So, like when you go into a club, there's a point where a certain song comes on.
Yes.
Everyone seems to know what that dance is. And everybody rushes to the center of the floor. And we kind of give you that scenario. But it's really, like I said, the opening is about people coming together and letting their hair down, and all of a sudden they're in the club scene.
So I think it's interesting because there's a sort of phenomenon, as you're saying, like in our everyday life, I feel like people sort of wear their everyday drag, shall we say, like their everyday costumes, and then they get in the club, and like you said, the real self sort of comes out. So you have different costumes different uniforms that they wear.
They're costumes.
Okay. It's a fine line these days, people. So they start, and you said the dark, and then we're getting lighter. So are there really 3 different looks during the show?
Yes, there are. So it goes from dark, which is black, then it goes to white, then it goes to neon. So, yeah, there are 3 costume changes.
So how should I ask how that's possible? Are there 3 layers, really?
There's 3 layers. Yes.
Okay, so I always have a practical turn of mind. So, like, do you have to practice the changing of the outfits? Like, how does that get implemented? That seems like really hard to do.
Now, what we do is we start with each production, like in the opening segment. Everyone wears the same costume, the color guard and the Corps proper, as we used to call it. During that, there's a progression in terms of how the costumes come off. The color guard first will have their costumes, their jackets taken off, but you won't really kind of notice it. It's really subtle how that all happens.
Cool.
And all of a sudden you say, oh, the color guard doesn't have them on anymore. Then the Corps, we finish that production, the opening segment. When we start the ballad, we have it choreographed so that the members actually assist each other. So it's a peel-off kind of thing.
Interesting.
All of a sudden, the stage is white.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to see how that happens.
yeah. So I mean, it's really kind of a unique way to do that. And then after they do that, we have the next production after the ballad is the drum solo. And what happens is the chord disappears. So then it's a percussion feature.
Quite literally, they're like this off the stage. Okay.
So it's just actually the drum line and the rifle line. Everyone else is off the stage. So it's a production with just the drum line and rifle line.
So is the concept sort of cleanse the palate and...
You know how like people when you're in a club and a group of people come over here to the corner,
Yeah.
they kind of mingle and they kind of get their thing going on. That's kind of what happens in the drum solo. So it's kind of like they kind of separate. They kind of come here, this group, and then so when they finish, the drum line actually starts to drift off. Then the horn line starts to make their introduction.
And now they're neon?
They're all neon.
I can't wait to see this. It's really, really interesting. Okay, so where did this idea come from?
It was a group of us. I mean, we get together and we talk about different concepts. And what was important for us was not to repeat what we had done last year. What we wanted to do was take the activity and spirit it to the next level. What's the next thing for drum corps? And that's a combination of all the elements, the aesthetics, the music, the staging, the props. So we kind of wanted to make sure that all those things contributed to the program.
And there is some connection to last year.
Right.
I mean, there's a door.
Okay, because I was going to say, all those doors last year were so cool.
You have to get into the club.
Like a special knock or be on the list? Or
There's a knock, but I think one of the things is, and we'll save it, hasn't been implemented yet, but there's something that will tie that in.
I love it. So how did you come up with the right music once you had this great concept? How did you decide what music to use, Chris?
That's great.
So the intro is, we wanted to really kind of focus on dance club music, like EDM and house and trance and hip hop and stuff like that.
Not your everyday core production. Okay, I'm loving this. Keep going.
So the intro is original composition. Matt Filosa, who's our front ensemble arrangement electronics.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Seifert is our battery arranger.
John is fantastic.
And then myself, we kind of crafted the intro.
Yeah, you do okay. No, I'm sorry. No, this is real. So you guys wrote something.
Yeah. There's a lot of original content in there, a
cool.
lot of original kind of beats and grooves, and like using something you would hear in a club.
Okay.
The first main piece that's actually somebody else wrote besides us is called Crump, which is a type of West Coast dance.
Yeah, can you demonstrate?
No.
Come on.
Not without going into traction and being embraced.
No, but I've seen enough dance shows on TV to have seen crumping.
Yes.
And certainly I could never, like you said, I could never attempt it safely, and nobody would want to see me do it. Okay.
There's actually a symphonic band piece called Crump by Scott McAllister that we're using this
Really?
content. Yep.
And so it has, what makes it crumpish?
It's the groove. It's like boom, 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 and there are features over top of it. It's got a hip-hoppy groove.
That is cool. All right.
And I think that the movement also, what we've done from a choreographed standpoint, really kind of picks up that funk and that groove. And the members really get into it.
Yeah.
Like, they buy into the character.
So you taught them a certain way of moving that sort of matches that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole nother level, as you said. Like a whole nother level to drum corps.
And then the ballad is actually not a traditional ballad. It actually has a groove and a beat to it. It's a piece called You and Me by Eliza.
But you're in the club, so that...
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It's by Eliza Doolittle, and it was remixed by a group called Disclosure, and then remixed by a guy named Flume, who's a club DJ. So we're kind of using that as our ballad.
That had to be a challenge to find that piece. No? Like, I'm assuming that was work.
It actually was okay. I mean, it was... I saw it on YouTube, like on somebody's Facebook post back in the...
So you
fall.
just knew it.
Let's go. Yeah, it's great.
I love it. Okay.
Once we heard it, it was like, yeah, that's got to be the ballad. That's it.
I love it. So then how did you decide on music for Neon? Like, once we get to the Neon part?
Well, the percussion feature, a lot of it's original. It's very bright and festive and joyous. And then the closer is called Color Wheel by a band called Art Echo, which is like this progressive kind of rock group.
Okay.
Yeah, it really works well.
So it sounds to me like you're taking some risks in all these ways. Like you're really trying to do something.
We also have some very subtle Atlanta hip-hop motifs buried in the show.
Because hip-hop is, Atlanta and hip-hop are a big deal.
So there's a piece called Welcome to Atlanta by Jermaine Dupri that's like just kind of buried in there, and some Ludacris and some Outkast and some stuff like that.
Sal, how long have you been working with the Corps?
Which time?
The Spirit. Okay. Well, we all know you're famous, like years in the 80s. That's really when you really
I started with Spirit in 1983 through 1990. Came back and
those years are like really legendary.
Yeah, they were good years.
Scott Chandler was in the mix there. Yeah, Scott Chandler was in the mix. Yeah, so they were okay. Yeah.
And then I came back in 95 just to kind of help them a little bit. I wasn't really all that involved, but I consulted a little bit. And then came back in 2017.
Chris, you're doing a lot of things right, man. It's just like getting this man back involved.
Absolutely.
Your whole team though is really top notch. So, and we're seeing it on the field and what the kids are getting to do and the experience you're giving them. So how did you put this team together? Like, how did you make this happen?
Find great people that fit.
I mean, you talked this man into coming back. And
I know. Well,
great things
we're
are
like
happening.
brothers, though. I mean,
Yeah. We actually, I taught him.
yes.
Really? You guys go back that far?
Yep. 84.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. I should have probably figured that out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, but
It's just a really great vibe. I mean, the staff gets along, the designers get along, and that translates to the kids. It's just a really good.
You can tell when you
It's
see a
always
show.
been known kind of family. It's a very family atmosphere.
and we've been very fortunate this year because we were able to get new people, young talent, and it really has worked out really well, especially with the color guard. Vast improvement.
So you have like a new team for color guard?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I can't wait to see all this come to life.
It's great. Really cool. Come
All right.
to life, like you said.
Excited. So what's the name of the show again?
Neon Underground.
And if you see behind us, you can buy a T-shirt, I'm sure. We're standing in front of the booth. Can we look at it?
Yes.
Who does your costumes for you?
G2 Apparel. Yes.
Really?
So
Can we look
third
at
year
it?
with them, absolutely.
All right, let's go look. Sal, can you explain it to me as we look at it? We're going to look at the uniform.
So this is the first layer. So this is the introduction into the underground.
Okay.
And it's, this is we actually have the second look is a white jacket,
Okay.
which is a shorter version.
So there's a white jacket over this piece?
Under this piece.
Under the black piece, over the neon.
So this will be the first. This comes off. There's a white jacket that comes to about here. And then this is the last piece.
Wow. I can only imagine what that looks like under the lights. Let me see if I can get. So did you, Sal, I'm assuming you designed all of this?
Yes. I had some great help from G2 Von Soden, but this is pretty much my creation.
It's very exciting. So the surprise, the different looks, like how do people respond when the core looks so different? Like that's a lot of changes for one show.
Interestingly enough, people love it. I've had, several people stop me and just said, the aesthetics are great, the costumes are great.
Those colors are, that's beautiful. Oh, and look, you've got the spirit. There it is.
Yep,
Just
you
where it
got
ought to
it.
be.
Well,
Everybody see that?
You actually see it on the net.
Really? Oh, there it is.
And it's the same thing on the white coat as well. We have that, the Delta on there.
So the Spirit Delta is there the whole time.
Yes.
As part of the identity.
Yep.
Super smart, but it's going to be super smart if it's coming from your brain.
Well, we'll see.
Because I've been such a big fan of your work all these years, and I'm so excited that you are still sharing your expertise with Drum Corps.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you.
I mean, those lucky kids at Spirit.
It's been fun.
Yes. It's great.
Well, guys, thank you for anything else you want to say about the show? Anything else you want people to know about it while we're talking?
Clap, clap.
Yeah.
There's a motif. We want the audience to clap. There's a whole little audience
Not just clap, but
participation.
clap.
Clap, clap.
Yep.
When you hear it, you'll feel it, and you'll do it.
All right, everybody got that? Clap, participate. I love it, guys. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks, Dan.
Super impressed with the work you're doing. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Find other interviews and videos from top DCI designers, instructors, and marchers, behind-the-scenes videos, interviews, and podcasts from winter camps, spring training, traveling during the season, and performances, all at marchingartseducation.com/DCI-2019. The Marching Roundtable is proud to be an official media partner of Drum Corps International.